Welcome, guys. Oh my gosh. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Alternate Future of Europe. So far, we're kind of stuck on World War III. I think this may be the last episode of World War III because, well, look at Russia. Russia's losing. I want to know why? Oh, wow. Um, they are very weak. They've lost tons of resources, tons of their money, and you may think, oh, but they have the winter. Gang, they're fighting against countries that are pretty used to winter, including Finland. And Russia is cooked. Russia's done for. But, let's go over here in the Caucasus region, where battling is finally going to start happening again. And Azerbaijan is going to push forward, with still reaching towards the capital. Turkey and Georgia keep pushing up north, and reaching the lake. They start going around the lake, headed for the capital, while even pushing more south into Armenia. The Armenian president is forced to evacuate and head into Iran, and where he would then be assassinated by who? An Iranian madman. And, and the president of Iran joins the war. You're wondering, what the fuck? Why is Iran doing this? Well, Iran, and in the 2060s. This alternate future, by the way, we're in the 2060s. Just to say, hey, I know Iran and Armenia are very close. That's in real life. But yeah, Iran joins the war. You want to know why? Because they want more land and resources. So Armenia immediately starts to collapse. The parts of it starting to infight in itself. But this kind of just lasts a little while, as its capital is now starting to become under siege. But Armenia holds out. What about Georgia, do you think? Well, Georgia is having trouble pushing upwards. The reason for this is that Russia has set up a huge trench line across. But Azerbaijan on having a lot of troops in this area, and finally being able to push some troops over here, that's good for Georgia. That's really good for Georgia and the logistics of this war. Azerbaijani troops is pushed to the border of the Russian and Azerbaijan border. Push to the Russian border and keep push before making a stop here and sending in a trench. Now, back over to Georgia. Georgia is starting a second front line right along here. Yeah. And it actually is going pretty well. Georgia now has two front lines alliance, but Russia is going to make a move. That is pushing forward into Georgia. Why is Russia pushing into Georgia? Sure. Well, it's because they have a plan. They push through Georgia, and once the Georgian troops retreat, the main military comes over and boom, cuts the country in two, and then take both halves over, leaving these two small countries to fight for themselves. Georgia is a big attributor to these two countries, specifically this country. Since this country is a landlocked nation, this country is kind of weak and poor, and they also live in the mountains. So, this country is actually pretty doing well for itself. It has built up a naval presence, since with the help of the Georgian Navy, But Russia, when this war began, they came around in a big naval battle and destroyed a ton of their ships. But something's gonna happen again, and I'm gonna show a little bit of it. These guys sent out their navy. You're going over here, yeah, and landing here. They made a whole landing area. You wanna know what this also did? Encircle a bunch of naval boats and Russian naval boats and troops, and they can't break out of it. There's just too much for them to handle. So in the end, this huge area becomes a part of these guys' navy. They also make a landing right here. Forgot to say. Hold up. Okay. Yeah, they make a landing over here in Russia and start a rebellion. That's right. This area right here in Russia is extremely unstable. And once someone just came around and knocked on their doorstep up 4 too many times, they decided to just leave. They decided that they're going to leave and gain independence. Hold on, let me bring the size up. And okay, hold up. And I'm gonna gain their independence and join the blue team. That's why they're joining the blue side. And they say to Russia, yo, can we be neutral? Can we be like chill with each other? And Russia's like, yeah. You know what they do? These guys secretly let Georgia, Azerbaijan, and the rest of these guys move here to get to Ukraine. This country is going to be a big player in this war, it seems. What about Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan's been awfully quiet. Nothing's going to happen in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's chilling. They don't care that Russia's getting destroyed. Now, moving over to here. The Balkan region. Lots of things are going to happen here. Specifically, I mean that these guys are starting to take over the full entire Serbian southern area. That's right. They are almost hanging over and pushing up here what Bulgaria does. Bulgaria is pushing very good. Doing a lot of good business. But what about Turkey? Turkey. Oh yeah. You're knowing what is this? That's from Libya. That's from Libya, guys. Yeah, Libya made a landing in Turkey, and it's kind of just been staying like that. But Turkey's been kind of, they're very unstable, very, very unstable, very unstable. Who knows? They could end up like Russia, with a huge chunk of their area just doop gone. Now let's go over here. Hungary destroyed some uprisings, but Serbia, has started to get absolutely wrecked in the northern region. With these three big areas having to retreat, and now having a huge front line on their in them, literally there, just inside them. That's not good. That's not good, Serbia. And Romania is now starting to actually destroy these guys. With Moldova finally destroying this communist country over taking over this communist country's ex-slave, and now helping Romania push further into this country because this country is starting to weaken. You want to know how they're like steamrolling through this country? This country is mainly a big player in the Russian trade economy, but after their economy collapsed, after when they got their independence, at like 3 years after they got independence, and it's Russia was now a very big helper for them because Russia was the only person that could literally save them during a war. Now Russia's getting destroyed, which means they're going to get destroyed. And this little panhandle here gets literally destroyed in just a couple days. During this, the president of the communist country is forced to give this to Moldova. This little ex-slave to Moldova. Moldova is finally coming back. Yeah, lab it up. But the communist country has one last trick up their sleeve, and that is try to get one of the Romanian presidents communist. Remember, this is still the Cold War. This is still the second Cold War. It's just that World War III is going on. So yeah, I'm trying to assassinate the Romanian president. Just Romanian now, it's the president. I forgot to tell you guys that. Yeah, I'm going to assassinate the second Romanian president. Romania has had two presidents. I keep forgetting to tell y'all this. I'm going to assassinate the second Romanian president, and then as Romania's third president will be communist. Communist. That's right. They're trying to basically destroy Romania from the inside. Well, they're getting destroyed also from the inside. What about Ukraine? Ukraine's more focused over here, by the way. Ukraine is doing a good job. They're able to kick Russia out, and Russia knows they are done for. Russia knows that. Russia knows that they are literally cooked. They're done for. Russian soldiers are starting to retreat, and the biggest military chase takes place. They chase the Russian soldiers throughout this area, and throughout over here, and they meet up over here. And it's the biggest encirclement in kind of history. When you want to know what happens actually, there's a new country. That's why this is a new country. Yeah, this is a new country. Actually, yeah, they're a new country, and you wanna know what side they're joining in? They're joining in the Ukrainian side. Yeah, they're joining this side. And guess what they have? They are right next to the capital. So yeah. What's this? What is this? They are right next to the capital. And Russia is finally deciding to surrender. After a long 6 years of fighting, 2059 to 2065, Russia finally surrenders, leaving some parts still fighting, but after a couple days, these parts surrender over to the blue side too. Ah! They surrender. What is that? What was that? Okay. Yeah, they start slowing, surrendering. And yeah, it's literally just a matter of time until this war is over. Belarus says, okay, fine, we'll be neutral. And they leave the war. They still are gonna get some they're still gonna have to be a part of the peace treaty because they won pretty big. And they did actually do a pretty good job. And guess who is left? Estonia. Estonia during trouble time, but after Russia surrendered, they were able to quickly destroy this report. With Russia gone, on many more things. Yeah, Russia had a lot of fronts, but now that's not true. Russia is gone. Armenia too. And the last person is Transcarpathia, which fails to do its plan and falls, including after the day that Serbia fell was the day that everyone celebrated. The last thing was here. Ireland met up with the new queen of the United Kingdom. And guess what? They are finally uniting. After all these years of fighting, they are finally uniting with Northern Ireland. They finally did it. They did it, guys. They were able to do it. The final battles happen here. But after a little bit of peace talks, everybody decides to be nice. And there's only one small change. And that is this area being given a little bit more to Algeria. Surely that won't cause any wars in the future, right? I think so. But yeah. There we go. Everybody is finally at peace. After 7 long years of fighting. Yes, we're still fighting after 4 years. So it took until 2066 for World War III to end. And when World War III was officially over, everyone made it a day. They celebrated it for hours on hours on hours. They were happy that World War III was finally done. Italy actually, when Russia was collapsing, was 99% had a 99% chance of joining the Polo Alliance, but that didn't happen. If you guys want to make a video where that does happen, do it. I think that'd be cool. What if Italy joined the Polo Alliance and everybody finally goes to peace? Yes. But guess what? It's not over. It's so not over. We're not done yet. This video is only 20 minutes long. We gotta focus on the peace treaty. That's right, the peace treaty. This area is Yeah, they gained their full independence. Two areas gain independence. This area does expand a little. It's very skinny. It's a very long country. It's very long. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say that again. But yeah. Uh, I don't. It's cool. It's cool. Is it just me, or does it look like Benin and Togo combined? I think it could just be me. Finland. Finland gets really big. Yeah, Finland gets really big. Yeah. Yeah, Finland's huge. Finland is absolutely gigantic. Yeah. So yeah, Finland's huge. The Finnish Empire is the happiest nation on earth. Has become even happier. How's that even happen? Anyway, what happens over here? Well, a purchase is done, and that is the purchase of 78. This purchase was for these guys to have this area, and it was around they had it costed around $70 million. That's a lot of cash, but yeah, they're fully independent, which is kind of destroyed. Wait. There's a lot of new countries. Just and guess what happens over here? Finally, Transcarpathia doesn't exist anymore. Surely that will lead into another Moldovan civil war. But yeah, Moldova finally, you guys okay? I think you guys okay. Finally unites with its other half after being like literally separated by little like actual ideology, which happens a lot to be honest. But do you really think this war is over, guys? It's really not. These guys have just entered, just continued the Second Cold War. And the economy is collapsing. And that just means radical leaders are getting put in place. That just means radical leaders are getting put in place for possibly another fucking war. No, don't worry about those red dots I just placed, okay? Okay, there you go. Don't worry about those red dots. Don't worry about it. But yeah, leave suggestions down below what you think will happen. What do you think is going to happen? World War IV? Or a continuation of World War III? Who knows? Who knows? But we haven't finished the peace treaty. That's why there's more to do. You know, extreme, harsh, trade deals with Russia. Confrontations with Russia. Russia has to pay every single country in Europe that they invaded around $50 million per every 6 months. How about Armenia? They have to pay $60 million every single month to all the countries they invaded. How about Serbia? They have to pay $100 million to every country they invaded. And why Germany? Why are they picking on Germany? Germany has to pay $50 million, which is in damages. You wanna know why? Because the president, new Prime Minister Germany, had accidentally bought every single country around them. Now they have to pay $50 million every year for 40 years in damages. Italy is, because of the economy collapsing and everything, they're definitely gonna get some radical leaders, including Spain. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, election day is coming up for you guys. Who knows what will happen? Who knows what will happen? Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And yeah, bye.